Hello everybody, Glass Half Dead here, and today I want to talk to you about Warhammer 40,000 Kill Team Into the Dark, future roadmap and tournament kits. There is more I could talk to you about. I haven't covered every single article that GW puts out about Kill Team, but let's just dive into it. I'm not going to read this. We don't care, alright? Let's dive into it. Guys, girls, others. A few weeks ago, they were talking about Warcry because they had Heartlands of the Gur release, right? And then what they did, and I was going to do a video on it, but I didn't because we suddenly, out of nowhere, we got a cascade, a torrent, if you will, although torrent's bad. We got a blast of Kill Team news. A blast 3, almost, I'd say. A blast blue, blast square of Kill Team news. Loads of it, so I didn't have time. But they actually did a really, I thought, good roadmap for Warcry, and I was planning to go ahead and do a little video about that just to say, hey, look at this great roadmap that they gave Warcry. This is exactly what I wanted for Kill Team. And guys, girls, others, here we have the Kill Team version of that good roadmap. This is exactly what I've been asking for. Now, I now regret that, and I'm going to tell you for why, but this is exactly what I've been asking for a roadmap for Kill Team. If you remember last year, they just kind of said, hey, every 3 months, new stuff, right? Which was fine. It could have been better, but it told us that this new Kill Team after Pariah Nexus wasn't a one-off. Great. Well, now we have names. And what do names give us? Wild speculation. So yes, please, a brief aside. Hey, I'm going to talk about the rules, the FAQ thing in a moment. That controversy, I'll get to that so that I hit that sweet 8 minutes 1 second, okay? But for now, allow me a little bit of indulgence, if you will, about random speculation. So the names of the next 3 expansions for the rest of this season are Shadow Vaults, Soul Shackle, and Gallowfall. Leave it in the comments, chaps. What are these? Okay, let's think about it. I'm literally just going to take the 2 words and guess what that means. Shadow Vault. Vault. Who lives in a vault? Stormcast Eternals. No, that's Warcry. Okay. Who else lives in a vault? Vaults. Vault is kind of like a tomb. Necrons. Boom. Shadows. Who lives in the shadows? I would want to say Drukhari. Maybe Mandrakes. But I kind of think Soul Shackle might be Mandrakes. Or you know what? Shackle could also be Necrons. There's a lot of Necrons here, maybe. I don't know. Shadow. Shadow could also be, I'm going to say Tyranids, Lictors. You know, I'm also trying to pick, like, teams that we haven't seen yet. Shadow Vault. Sticking with Necrons on the Vault. I feel that's a solid Necron-y thing, assuming Stormcast Eternals are out of the picture. Who knows? Shadow is so generic it could be absolutely anything. I will say the Games Workshop is pretty good at just taking 2 nouns and just saying, boom, that's our jam. So, you know, let's be honest, this could be absolutely anything. We move on to Soul Shackle. Soul and Shackle. Who shackles? Necrons. But possibly Soul Shackle. What are we leaning towards there? Drukhari. Because they mess around with souls. Other option, demons, they mess around with souls. I would probably go more with Slanesh than, you know, Khorne or Tzeentch or anything. But who else cares about souls? I mean, yeah, demons, Drukhari. I would say Craftworlds because obviously they do have their little soul shard thingies. But they've already had the Corsairs. Maybe it will be a proper Craftworld team. I don't know what that would look like. You know, Craftworlds are doing just fine from Compendium, so it's fine. But who else cares about souls? No, I think I'll stick with Drukhari on soul there. Shackle, questionable. Although, as said, Shadow also feels a little bit like Mandrakes, a little bit like Drukhari. So they're in there somewhere. I kind of feel like both Shadow Vaults and Soul Shackle are kind of Drukhari versus Necrons. Could be either way around, who knows? Gallowfall. Well, this one means nothing at all. I would hope that the naming scheme here is actually a little bit more narrative based. Gallo is obviously, you know, the Gallo Dark, the name of the ship that we are in, and fall is obviously it's going to fall because, you know, gravity in space and all that. It's going to fall down, I guess, or to the universal center. I don't know. Anyway, so presumably once we have Shadow Vaults and Soul Shackle, if anybody out there actually pays attention to the narrative, which by the way nobody does, maybe I'll have to. Guys, I'm going to take that bullet for you. I will read the narrative so that we know what's happening for Gallowfall. But hopefully we will be able to see a progression in narrative terms through Into the Dark, Shadow Vaults, Soul Shackle to give us a hint about what Gallowfall will mean. Presumably, Gallowfall will be some sort of extreme conclusion to the kill zone that is the Gallo Dark. But I don't think that in itself Gallo and Fall tells us what's going to be there. If we didn't have the naming of the ship Gallo Dark, then I would assume that Gallo would mean kind of Chaos Marines, because, you know, Gallo, Hangman, that's pretty chaosy, I guess. But yeah. You know what? I'll throw it out there. I think Gallowfall might be based on an Inquisitor team. How about that? Maybe it'll be the Kassakin with some sort of Inquisitor leader? I don't know, or just the Kassakin. But I think an Inquisitor team could be there because they're kind of the final boss, if you will. And so they might turn up to be like, right, we're purging this Space Hulk, or we're blowing it up. There you go. Who knows? Who knows? How would they blow it up? I don't know, some sort of Archaeotech beam or something like that. They love Archaeotech, I don't know. Or just like a straight up broadside from one of their ships with one of these huge Exterminatus cannons. There you go. Anyway, that's kind of the big hype. If I'm honest, that's the big hype. Let's quickly look at the tournament kits. Oh, look at that. Let's zoom in. Let's zoom in to the tournament kit. So these are pitched as an organized play returns. If you ever hear somebody say the term OP kit, it means organized play kit. We get token certificates. Gameplay materials are the perfect way to organize a kill team league in your local area. So understand, this isn't exactly a match play kit. This is organized play. It's a different thing. In the past, our organized play kits were, you got 3 medals. You got a gold, silver, and bronze, right? I don't know why I had to think about that for so long. In this one, we get a bunch of little goodies. We get one big prize, which is this metal glass thing here. You see, here's my cursor. You see here, that's the prize. I assume it means winner of league. But then if it says winner of league, you couldn't kind of swap it in as like winner of tournament. Who knows what it might say. You get a bunch of acrylic tokens. These are objective marker tokens. Of course, you don't need those. You need my tokens, which I no longer sell, so good luck with that, I guess. And then we also get, interestingly, some, it looks like acrylic measurement widgets, which is an interesting one for them to give us. Fine, I guess. Cool. You know, if these are just a nice little bit of acrylic that has the correct measurements on, I think that's totally fine. It's not something I'm really going to be seeking out, but no big deal, whatever. You know, I quite like the ones that I've painted myself, if I'm being entirely honest with you. And that's it. That's kind of all this says here. Now, we do have another minor thing to talk about, which is they actually silently stealth, that's the same word as silent, they silently removed something from the FAQ today. If you want to know about the FAQ, go and check out my, FAQ errata questions video where I went over all of them. They removed a change that they had made in that document where there was, it became a little bit, not confusing, it was very clear what they meant, you know, but it became a little bit odd as to exactly how, sorry. Basically, vantage points, they changed the wording on how you receive cover and obscurity from vantage points. They've now reverted it, essentially. They just removed that FAQ line. Cool, fine, whatever. I have a minor issue with this, which is I don't actually mind them updating the FAQ. That's all great. However, and actually, I'm also okay with them not really notifying people, because obviously it was a mistake that they rescinded, and they probably don't want to shout about their mistakes. Yeah, fine, cool, okay, not a big deal. I guess my main issue with, to be clear, I'm also happy with it, because what happened here, this is a good thing what occurred, in that they put out an FAQ and then they got community feedback, which was seething feedback. It was rabid. There was wild dogs everywhere. It was insane. People were very upset about this. And they rescinded it. Like a week later, they said, oh, okay, you know what? The community hasn't liked what we've done here. Let's take it back. Great response time. Measured response. Cool. However, messaging. The thing is, okay, and you know, anybody else out there that plays can attest to this. Without letting people know you're doing something to a digital online document, it's a little bit of a challenge, because to be clear, they didn't add anything in this update. They removed something, and that is so hard to find, that they remove something, right? So I don't print out my FAQs and erratas sheet every single time I go to play, and I don't read through them every single time I go to play. I might print them out once upon release, you know, when they re-release all of them, and I might say, okay, let's have a read through. Okay, I know everything. And it will just, you know, I might not remember it, but it will be vaguely in the back of my mind, oh yeah, that weird interaction. I know to check the FAQ document when that comes up. Cool. I do not print that out randomly before every single game and read through the entire document every single time. And without letting people know you're updating a document, it's like, well, nobody's going to know this, because we have seen the FAQ change and we've said, okay, that's how they want us to play now. Fine. Like it or hate it, the rules were very clear. There was no mistaking how it worked. And they rescinded it. Fine. But just to not tell people is perhaps a bit of a misstep. But this is actually a really interesting point, because obviously everybody wants GW to go over to digital rules. And what they've done here is they've taken a digital rule and they have just said, oh, yeah, we're going to remove that. Done. Whatever, right? How, I guess, they need so if this was an app, they would have something called a change log, which is very simple, essentially patch notes. And it would list the changes made. So you would be able to, if you wanted to, go to the change log of your FAQ documents, and it would spell out, we have removed bullet point X on page Y. We have added bullet point Z on page B, etc. Every single time they make any sort of change. So yeah, a little bit, you know, I don't want to be too harsh, because I don't want to kind of give out messaging that says I don't like the rules being updated, and I don't like the community being listened to, and I don't like the way they did it, because obviously that's not the case. I like that they were so responsive to the community, because let's be clear, I don't think this was them changing a rule interaction that they misunderstood. I think this was the community was in an uproar, and they said, okay, the community did not like that, let's respond to the community, and that is a good thing. But yeah, I think what we might be seeing is the early days of GW's attempts at digital rules updates. You know, which hopefully, wild speculation here, obviously, is something that they might be looking to progress onto with 40k when 10th edition releases. And it would just be, you know, hopefully they understand the value of a changelog that is updated every time, even when their PR customer-facing brand, WarCom, doesn't want to release an article. These things do still need to be communicated. Yeah, I understand that in their current framework that doesn't work, so they couldn't do it, and they are incredibly rigid about such things, but hopefully they do understand the value of a changelog, especially when people are trying to play their games competitively. Because if you're not playing competitively, doesn't matter. Didn't need to pay attention to it now, don't need to pay attention to it when they do it. Who cares? Play rules out of the book, because it all makes sense. If you read, very few things don't make sense, or don't work. Sorry, they all make sense. So these are just quality of life improvements, is the way I view them. Anyway, guys, this has been Glass Half Dead. I hope you've had a good day and continue to have a good day. Roadmap hype.